Undercover on the beat, so twerk it, bitch.
Yo, what is up boys and girls, welcome back to another Black Ops 3 video, and guess what time it is? It is double XP time, so get yourselves on the console, rank up as fast as you can. Now's the time to get to the Master Prestige as fast as possible, or if you have any other goals, just accomplish them as quickly as you possibly can. So make the most of it while you can. Now, there's also a new patch that is incoming, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But first, I want to tell you guys what class I was running, the score streaks and so on. I was running the Pharaoh, obviously it's my favorite gun in the game by a country mile, with the stock suppressor, the extended mags and the rapid fire. Like I've said before in my best SMG class setup video, it's just pure overkill when you use it. Perks was the Ghost, the Blast Suppressor and the Fast Hands, I believe, and the score streaks, as you can see on the screen, the UAV, the Cerberus and the Wraith. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Wraith myself. I think it gets shot down a bit too quickly, or rather it did before the new patch comes into play, as obviously they've buffed a few of the score streaks, but I'll get into that in a little bit as well. Now, this was a pretty good match. I did rather well. I think it's my highest scoring Domination gameplay so far. I've had a few 100+s on Safeguard, but obviously the Safeguard matches actually run a lot longer than Domination sometimes, averaging about 18 to 20 minutes, I'd say, if you can just run out the clock on all 4 rounds. Now, obviously none of the score streaks had been buffed or nerfed yet. I still don't think they have from the date of this upload. However, my Cerberus just absolutely went insane, so I'm slightly unsure whether the Cerberus mainly actually needs a bit of a buff, or to make it harder to destroy rather, but you guys will see for yourselves what I mean. Now, moving on to the details of the patch. Obviously quite a lot of guns were either buffed or nerfed. I'm going to give you guys a brief summary of what they were and which guns were indeed affected. For the submachine guns, the Cuda has had its ability to control recoil increased. Obviously that's a pretty good thing, because if you're shooting down someone from a medium to long range distance, the ability to control the recoil is obviously a very good thing. The VMP has had its time increased when aiming down sights, and its hipfire spread increased as well. The Weevil's got an increased ability to control recoil, just like the Cuda. The Vesper's got its lethal range reduced slightly. The Razorback has had its ability to control recoil as well increased, as well as its lethal range being increased, so that's quite a big buff. The Razorback has been buffed before, but it's still been pretty damn bad. I'm sure you guys will agree with me on that. Now, moving on to the assault rifles, the KN has also had its ability to control recoil increased. The XR2's movement has been reduced. The HVK has had its ability to control recoil increased as well. The ICR, same as the HVK, and its hipfire spread has been reduced. And they've also fixed an issue with the reload animation. I haven't personally noticed that. You guys may or may not have as well. The Man of War, like the HVK, its ability to control recoil has been increased, and the M8A7 has had its fire rate reduced. Now, that's probably the most important one of the lot, because personally, as well as I know most of my friends agree, that the M8 is just an overpowered piece of shit. So the fact they've actually done something to nerf it once more is great news. The shotguns, the KRM is now completely a guaranteed 2-hit kill. There were some issues with it, experiencing few hit markers, making it a 3-shot kill, but they've completely removed the 3-shot kill aspect of it, and now it's, like I've said, a completely guaranteed 2-shot kill. The Brecci has had its lethal range increased, as has the Haymaker 12. The light machine guns, the Dingo has had its movement speed increased, and its ability to control recoil increased as well. The 48 Dredge has had its fire rate reduced, and that's about it for the light machine guns. Pistol wise, the MR6 movement speed has increased, as has the RK5's, but the RK5 has also had its lethal range reduced, which is pretty good, because the pistol, especially the RK5, has been pretty broken, especially at close range. It often outguns a lot of submachines and assault rifles, so obviously it's a very good thing. The LCAR-9 has had its movement speed increased, reduced damage, reduced lethal range, and its hipfire spread increased. Now that's a complete nerf on that gun, but like the RK5, it was completely broken, so I'm actually glad they've done something about it. Moving on to the score streaks. The HCXD has had its explosive damage increased. I'm not too sure what that means for Flak Jacket, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for it. The Dart has had its explosive damage increased for collision explosions. Its handling has been tuned, its minimum speed slightly reduced, and they have fixed an issue where the Dart was not locking onto enemy players either. The Talon has had its AI control damage slightly increased. The Mothership has had an increased number of missiles required to destroy by 2. That's pretty damn broken if you ask me. The Mothership's already broken as it is. I don't know if any of you guys have actually managed to get it, but when you do, you'll probably see what I mean. If you do it before the patch, anyway. After the patch, it's... oh god, I dread to encounter that online, honestly. The owner of the turret explosive bullet damage is increased, and the owner rocket turret projectile speed has increased also. The Hellstorm missile has had its cluster bomb explosive damage increased. There's been a lot of debate about this. I personally feel it was fine. I often get doubles, trebles, or even quads with it, so to me it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but obviously if its damage is increased, it's a good thing, so why not? The Rolling Thunder has had its radius per drone increased, and explosive damage per drone also increased. They've also added an extra 4 pair of drones, and the health per drone is increased as well. Now obviously that's a good buff. The Rolling Thunder wasn't that great. The Lightning Airstrike was probably just as good in my opinion, but so it didn't really compensate for the fact that you had to get so many more kills to actually get the Rolling Thunder, but nonetheless it's a pretty good buff for it. The Cerberus, as I've said, has had its missiles required to destroy increased by 1, and its EMP grenades required to destroy increased by 1 as well. As you guys will see in this video, I personally feel it's fine, but nonetheless I'm a massive fan of the Cerberus, so the fact they've buffed it is good news for me. The GI unit has had its number of war machine hits required to destroy increased. It's also had a slight increase in duration and a slight decrease in time stunned when hit by EMP grenades. The UAV has had its base health increased. It should still take 1 rocket to shoot down. However, I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried this, but actually shooting it down with a gun used to be really easily, usually requiring no more than a standard gun clip. So if the base health is higher, it should take maybe 2 now, I'm not too sure. And the same thing with the counter UAV. The Wraith has had its base health increased also, which is much needed, honestly. The Wraith was so underpowered for such a high score streak, so I'm so happy they've actually done something for that. And they've also fixed an issue where the flak drone would not intercept incoming missiles. Great, just great, honestly. The Raps has had an increased number of missiles required to destroy the deploy ship by 1, and it's had its health per drone increased as well. And finally for it, the explosive damage per drone has also been increased. Now finally, the last buff has been on the Lightning Strike. There's been a reduced time between target selection and payload delivery. It usually took, I mean it didn't take, personally I didn't think it took that long, but obviously Treyarch thought it was an issue, or issue enough for them to actually fix it. In this video itself you'll see my Wraith actually getting a few kills. It didn't, like I said, it kind of depends on the lobby you're in. If people try and shoot it down instantly, so I've had lobbies honestly when you get into when you call it in, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 people trying to shoot it down, but before it actually reaches the map it's already been shot down, and I'm just there thinking to myself, what the hell's going on, like where is the Wraith? And it turns out it's actually been shot down. Now here's the part I was telling you guys about, when the Cerberus just goes absolutely ham. Now at this point I'm just trying to find them on the map, because obviously the movement speed for it isn't that great. I get a few kills here and there, and then I realize they're gonna all be trying to capture C, because I think my team actually gets A. So I start moving towards C after I get this guy, because he's just throwing stuns at me and whatnot, and I really hate when people do that. So I make my way over to C, get a few other guys, get him as well, and fire a rocket at this one. Flak Jacket, as you can see, doesn't actually kill him. I'm not too sure what's going to happen after the patch, but this is where it starts. I kind of just spawn trap him with the the Cerberus, and I get so many kills. I get ×7 bouncer, which is just insane, and they actually finally managed to destroy it. Now, videos wise for you guys, I've got a couple of things that I'm actually going to be uploading within the next few days. Obviously, I have a couple of 100 pluses to upload. Now, as I said, they were in safeguard, and it did take a while for the match to actually finish, so let me know if you guys want that edited, and if so, by how much. Secondly, I also have a nuclear attempt on free-for-all to upload. I'm not going to give you any spoilers as whether I actually got it or not. You guys can watch and find out for yourselves. I'm going to be continuing the shout out Saturday series tomorrow, so leave a comment down below if you guys actually want to be mentioned in the video. And finally, I'm also thinking of starting a new series of say top 5 or top 10 plays, where obviously you guys who watch the videos can send me in some of your clips, and I'll upload the 5 that I consider to be the best into that series as well. So let me know down below what you think about that idea. Now, this match is actually coming to an end. As you can see, I was just trying to defend the flags that we actually have, just to guarantee the victory. My win-loss isn't the highest, it's around about 2, I believe, but I don't really play free-for-all, as you guys know, so it's not going to be ridiculously high, because most of the games I play are actually safeguard, domination, and a bit of TDM on ground war as well. Not very often, actually. I've noticed you don't really get TDM on ground war that often. It's mainly safeguard and domination, but I'm not going to complain. They're my 2 favorite game modes. Now, you can see I had another Cerberus to call in. I'm not sure whether I get another Wraith or not, but I definitely could have got 100 plus on domination with a little bit extra time. I'm a bit gutted I didn't, to be honest with you guys. I really would have really loved to have got it on domination as opposed to safeguard, so I guess I'll just have to keep grinding for it. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. As always, peace out.